All right, well, good evening. Again, my name is Lieutenant Nathan Dennis of the Ohio State Highway Patrol Public Affairs Unit. Just here to provide an update as to the situation that occurred here this afternoon or this morning throughout this afternoon. So throughout the day today, law enforcement officers attempted to negotiate with the suspect. After a time, the negotiations failed. We were unsuccessful with that. Then at that point, law enforcement started to work toward moving in and taking the suspect into custody. Less than lethal tactics were utilized at that time. They were also unsuccessful. The suspect then did raise a firearm toward law enforcement, and shots were fired by law enforcement officers on the scene. At that point, the suspect was deceased. He succumbed to his injuries at the scene, and everything remains under investigation at this time. As far as the identity of the suspect goes, that's still in the process of being confirmed at this time. We will get that to you when we are able to do so.
Was he shot prior to you guys shooting him?
I'm sorry.
Was he shot earlier?
There was shots fired earlier, yes. Gunfire was exchanged. That I can't confirm at this point in time.
Did you deliver a phone by robot to the suspect and then negotiate with him over that phone? If so, can you talk a little bit about his state of mind, what he was talking about?
So I can't confirm that either. I would have to check and confirm that, but I don't know.
Is he from the Ohio area? Do you know that? The suspect?
Again, we haven't been able to confirm his identity, so until we confirm his identity, it wouldn't be right for us to speak on behalf of that.
How long ago were the shots fired when he raised the
Yeah, so at the point in which officers moved in using less than lethal tactics, and he raised the firearm toward law enforcement, that was around 3:42 this afternoon.
What was the time of death?
The time that the shots were fired was around 3:42 this afternoon.
Is he acting alone, or are you guys investigating anybody else?
At this time, again, the whole thing remains under investigation. We really can't go into details in regard to the portions of the investigation. Once the investigation is complete, or once we have more details in regard to that investigation, we will put out a media release with some more details on it for you all.
Is this someone who the FBI was previously investigating?
That's a question you have to ask the FBI.
So the suspect being promoted, and the bomb squad may have been looking, examining his car. Was there anything found in that vehicle?
So that's still under investigation as well. The car was a white Crown Victoria. In regard to the vehicle and the stuff that's within that vehicle, it's being processed and investigated at this time.
What was his motive?
Again, that's under investigation in regard to what occurred today and everything that unfolded.
How was he able to get away from the FBI office all the way to 71?
So our troopers, we initiated contact with the suspect on 71 in Warren County near the rest area. Everything that transpired prior to that would be a question that I would have to direct you to the FBI for.
Did he say anything before he raised his gun, before the fatal shots were fired? Anything to officers, to agents before this all happened?
That again would be under the investigation as well. That's not something I have information of right now.
Did multiple officers shoot him, or was it just one? Were they in a helicopter? Were they snipers on the ground? Can you go into details about that?
Yeah, so all I can say right now is that there was gunfire by officers. I can't give you details in that. That's part of the investigation right now as well.
Which agency?
I'm sorry.
Which agency fired the
Again, that's part of the investigation. Once we have all of those details, we can put that information out when we're able to do so.
There's no officer injuries.
So as of right now, there are no officers that were injured as a result of the circumstances today, fortunately. I'm sorry?
What type of weapon was recovered from the suspect?
Again, that's part of the investigation right now.
Did you all find anything on social media where it might be connected to an extremist group?
So that would all be part of the investigation that's ongoing.
Is this something you guys trained for? Because it's a very unusual situation.
In regard to law enforcement in general, we train for all kinds of circumstances and situations. So we ensure that troopers as well as other law enforcement agencies, we always ensure that everybody has as much training as possible for circumstances that may occur like today.
Can you confirm if he was wearing body armor when he was shot?
happened?
That's part of the investigation right now. I can't confirm any of that.
Why did he crash his car? Did he crash? Did he shoot out the tires? Did he run off the road?
He stopped his vehicle.
He stopped his
He
vehicle
stopped his
off the
vehicle.
road,
Yes,
then got out.
correct.
Were officers on him as he got out?
Yes, as he exited the vehicle initially back when the pursuit occurred, when the pursuit came to an end and he stopped his vehicle, when he got out, that's when shots were exchanged between officers and the suspect.
Can you talk a little bit more about the perimeter that was set up and like how big of an area did you guys have to find it, and did you have eyes on it the entire time?
So yes, in regard to the perimeter, the perimeter was around the area in which he was at. So it was confined to a circle around where he was at. And the entire time that he was within that area, we did have contact in regard to eye contact with him as far as we know to see him. That is on Smith Road, just north of Interstate 71 on Smith Road.
Was it a residential area or was it cornfields? Can you talk a little bit more about?
So it was a rural area. It was there were woods, cornfield. It's a very rural
Were there
area.
homes and people, like or businesses in that area?
There isn't a lot of homes in that area on Smith Road.
Can you recap the final moments for us one more time, just to kind of about how all this came to an end?
Yeah, so throughout the afternoon, the officers attempted to negotiate with the suspect. As those negotiations went on, over time they eventually failed and were unsuccessful. So at that time, officers tried to move in using less lethal tactics to take the suspect into custody. The suspect then raised the firearm toward law enforcement, and that's when shots were fired at the suspect.
When you tried to,
Like less than lethal tactics.
Yeah, so less than lethal munition rounds.
when you tried to negotiate with him, did he talk to you guys? What did he do?
That's all part of the investigation that I wouldn't be able to talk about right now.
Did the suspect connect this to any other events during the negotiations?
And that is all part of the investigation right now that I wouldn't be able to talk about.
Have you inspected this vehicle at this time?
I'm sorry?
Have you inspected this vehicle?
So right now, all of the scene is being processed by investigators.
Can you clarify how many different occasions was gunfire exchanged on the highway when he initially left his vehicle?
Yeah, so what I do know that I can tell you right now is as the pursuit was ongoing northbound on 71, shots were fired from the suspect vehicle. Law enforcement did not fire shots at that time. And then once the vehicle exited on the State Route 73 and went north on Smith Road and came to a stop, at that time there was gunfire exchanged as well.
And where is the suspect from?
Correct. I'm sorry?
Where is the suspect from?
I cannot give you that information right now because we haven't confirmed his identity yet.
In the final moments, did he fire at police or did he raise a gun at police?
Again, that's part of the investigation. He did raise his firearm toward law enforcement, so I can't confirm that. But
When you say less than lethal ammunition, you just mean the backgrounds?
yeah, there are different types of less lethal munitions, such as that. Yes.
The vehicle he was using was an Ohio tax.
I'm sorry.
The vehicle that he was using was an Ohio tax. It was in another state.
I would have to check on that for you. I don't have that information.
How fast did he go during the pursuit?
That information I don't have for you as well right now.
When is the next press release or press conference coming up?
Yeah, so we're going to work on trying to get you guys a finalized media release tonight at some point. We hope to have that out to you, at some point this evening. So once I leave here, we're going to go back and we're going to work on that and try to get you guys a few more details in regard to that as well. So.
In our viewing area in the last month, we've had 3 officers shot, one of them fatally injured, and now this today where you have somebody firing at officers again. Can you just sort of speak to the climate of what's going on in our community right now?
Well, obviously, situations like today are unfortunate. They're unfortunate for a community. They're unfortunate for those involved in it. And this is just a reminder of, I guess, how quickly things, in a community can turn into an issue like we've seen today. So, again, unfortunate circumstances in the event of today.
Are there any search warrants being conducted at his residence or another location?
I wouldn't be able to speak to that. That would all be, a part of an investigation that would be ongoing. So I'll take one more question. Anybody has
Any
anything else?
idea why he came here?
Other than the fact that he was pursued, I have no details in regard to where he may have been trying to go. Obviously, we intercepted him in Warren County and pursued him, and he chose to take this exit. Outside of that, that would be part of the investigation, is trying to figure out where he may have been en route to, but that's, again, something that I don't have an answer to right now. So, again, the media release will be forthcoming later on this evening, and we hope to have some more details that we can give you guys at that time. So thank you very much.